Hello, Erica here. I am kind of doing a dual TBR video today because it's already the 4th of January and I've been putting this off and I just need to get it done. So today I'm going to talk about my TBR for the entire month of January, as well as announce that I'm going to participate in Bout of Books 12.0, which is happening starting tomorrow, January 5th, and lasts until the 11th. I will link more information in the down bar. So let's talk about the books I want to read for that first. There's virtually no way I'm going to finish all of these unless I stop sleeping, because I do have a full work week this week and it's going to be crazy as usual. But this is what I have to choose from. I like for readathons to have like a stack to choose from, so that I already have them pulled out and I don't have to sit in front of my TBR pile and stare at it for like an hour and a half to pick the next book that I'm going to read. So I've picked a wide variety of things. The first one I have is the Complete Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. This is a graphic memoir. It's about the author's childhood growing up during the Iranian Revolution, and I think it's going to be really, really good. I've heard great things about it, and it should be quite a quick read because it is a graphic memoir. Next I have two little short novels, basically novellas. The first one is The Buddha in the Attic by Juliet Suka. I believe this is kind of about like mail order brides from Japan living in San Francisco. And I think this is going to be really good. I guess it's broken up into sections for different women and their different narratives. I've heard great things about it and I'm very intrigued by it. The next book I picked up on a complete whim, knowing absolutely nothing about it, and this is The Missing Year of Juan Salvatierra. It's by Pedro Mayoral, who is an Argentinian author. I believe this was recently translated and published in paperback. It is a tiny little thing. I really enjoy Argentinian literature, and I've never heard of Pedro Mayoral, so I'm excited to get into this. Next, I would like to get started on my bind-up of John Steinbeck's short novels, which I got for Christmas. The first two stories in this are Tortilla Flat and The Red Pony. So I definitely want to read both of those this month. I don't know if I'll get to both of those during the readathon, but hopefully I'll get to at least one of them because they're not very long. Next I have the required short story collection. This is Magic for Beginners by Kelly Link. I've never read anything by Kelly Link. I don't know that much about her. From what I understand, her short stories have kind of a magical realism, fantastical element to them. And I'm all about that. So I think this will be a lot of fun, and I'm just really excited to kind of dip in and out of this throughout the readathon. And lastly, I have my nonfiction pick for the month, which I'll also be able to dip in and out of during the readathon, and that is Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay. I probably don't have to talk about this too much. If you've been watching BookTube, you've heard about it. It is a collection of essays, and I've never read anything by Roxane Gay, so I'm totally jumping on that bandwagon. But I'm really excited, and I think it's going to be very enlightening and a lot of fun. So those are all the books that I am hoping to mostly get through for Bout of Books 12.0. As for the rest of my month, I am currently in the middle of two books. One you've seen, it's Jabberwocky and Other Nonsense, the collected poems of Lewis Carroll. I'm about halfway through this now. I could probably finish this in one sitting if I really wanted to, but with poetry, I feel like you kind of have to step back every once in a while and let things sink in, or else it all becomes a jumble of nonsense. And B, with Lewis Carroll, you kind of have to step back and let things sit in, or else it just becomes a jumble of nonsense. So I'm enjoying this. It's a lot of fun. It's very interesting. And I will probably definitely finish this month. And then I had this crazy idea on the first of the month that I was going to tackle the longest book on my TBR this month and just get it over with. So I picked up Shanharan by Gregory David Roberts. This is the story of an Australian inmate who escapes from prison, moves to Bombay as a fugitive, and gets involved in kind of the Bombay underworld, the mafia, and all kinds of things there. I'm not very far into it. I'm only on page 81, and this clocks in at a little under 950 pages. It's kind of slow moving for me right now, but he's definitely setting the scene, and I think that it's definitely going to pick up, and I'm going to be enthralled by it. The writing so far is really amazing, and I'm enjoying this. And I hear that this is going to be a trilogy, and that this will actually be the middle book, even though it's the first one published. I don't know that much about that, though. If you know, let me know. I'm curious. So, hopefully I can get this done this month. And then I have 4 other books that I was hoping to get to this month as well. The first one is Willa Cather's My Antonia. I love Willa Cather. After I finish this, I will have read 4 books by her, and I'm thinking of doing a whole video on her, because I don't feel like she is taught enough or discussed enough or given as much praise as she deserves. Her stories are amazing. They're very atmospheric. I get very wrapped up in kind of the landscape of it all. And so I'm really excited to dive into this, because this is one of her more famous novels. I also have Portnoy's Complaint by Philip Roth. I'm kind of unsure about this. I don't know if I'm going to like Philip Roth as an author. I don't know if I'm going to be able to connect with him at all. But I'm going to give this a shot. And if I don't like it, that's fine. I'll just give it away. But I feel like Philip Roth at least deserves a chance. And I have no idea what this is about, really. But I'm going to try to read it. It's not very long. And we'll see how it goes. Next, I would really like to read A Tree Grows in Brooklyn this month. I've never read this. It's really starting to be embarrassing that I've never read this. And I think I'm going to fly through this. I'm sure I'm going to love it. And lastly, I had the great idea that I was also going to read Crime and Punishment this month, with which I originally wasn't planning on picking up Shantram this month. Now that I have that in the mix, I might not be able to get to this, but I'd like to at least start it. I have read The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky, and that took me about 3 weeks to read. Granted, I've heard that it's much denser than Crime and Punishment, and it's also about 300 pages longer. So I've heard Crime and Punishment is a bit of a faster read, that it's really intriguing, and you can kind of fly through it as far as, you know, the Russians go. So I'm excited to get to this and take this off my list, because I have been avoiding this book for way too long. So that is all I have for Bout of Books 12.0, and also for the month of January. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books. 13, really, if you count 2 John Steinbeck novels. So I'm probably not going to read all that. I'm not making any promises. That's just kind of what I've pulled out of my TBR pile and want to read. I would like to read at least 10, because then I'm doing the Project 10 Books this year, inspired by Jenny at Adultish Books. And so as soon as I read 10 books, I get to buy a book, and that's all very exciting. So hopefully I'll read 10 books this month. That'd be cool. And let me know if you have any ambitious plans for this glorious first month of the year, or if you're just kind of taking it easy and easing into your reading year. I'd love to hear about it. Let me know if you're participating in Bout of Books 12.0. I'm always very excited to hear about other people doing these readathons. And I will see you all soon. Thanks so much.